when I'm in prayer, when I'm reading my Bible, especially in the morning in quiet, that's when I can really feel his presence the most. And I've found I've been growing my relationship the most during more quiet prayer, adoration. Adoration's been a huge part of my growth as I got closer to God. The first time I went to adoration was a huge experience for me and a huge stepping stone, I guess, in my faith, as I really felt the Holy Spirit and a connection to God through adoration. And that's a huge way that I can feel his presence in the Holy Spirit.
I'd say obviously the God the Son, is present in the Eucharist at Mass. So every time I go to Mass or adoration, we get to be with Jesus.
One way I experience Jesus is through our weekly adoration on Fridays. I feel like whenever I'm in the chapel there, I really feel his presence the strongest.
So many times in my life, I've had experiences where I've looked back and I've said, oh my gosh, what I asked for actually was answered. And so it's been one of those things that hindsight has always given me so much grace. But my challenge right now is to look forward to that and find when those spirit moments, when the Holy Trinity is there, ready to answer right at the moment and recognize it then, instead of always in hindsight. So it works both ways for me.
In my life, the times I've experienced the Holy Spirit and the Trinity is when I've been lost. And so, especially Jesus and the Holy Spirit together, Jesus walks with me, while the Holy Spirit gives me the hope and the courage that I need, that I can continue on in life.
I experienced the Trinity through prayer, particularly through the intimacy I have with Christ before the Blessed Sacrament.
Yeah, for me it's the Holy Spirit. It guides me and moves my heart to long for Christ in everything that I do and in the way that I live my life.
One of the ways I experience the Trinity is every morning when I sit in my sacred space and I look at Rubloff's icon of the Trinity, the three persons sitting, looking at each other, listening and talking. And I'm part of that Trinity because there's a space for me at the table there. I'm part of the Trinity and they're part of me and they're part of my life, surrounding me each and every day.
I think the Holy Spirit is in adoration because I always cry when I go to adoration. It's just that, and I think Jesus is through my loved ones, my friends and my family. I think that's where I see him the most.
I feel like for me, I can really feel God, our creator, when I'm looking at his creations. So whether it be a newborn baby or even leaves on trees, and just how intricate the design is, and even how perfect our fingerprints are, and how they're all different. It kind of reassures me that we aren't here because of some coincidence. It wasn't just some explosion that we just happened to be here. We were made perfectly for how we're supposed to be. And I feel I can really feel God's Spirit, the Holy Spirit, when I see him working through others. Whether I feel God's talking to me through someone else, or even when people do good things for other people, I can really see it's the Holy Spirit's working in their lives. And I feel for Jesus God in his human form, I can more see him when I'm reading about the miracles that he did, and the testimonies he gave, and the words that he spoke, especially when I'm in times of need. I'll just open my Bible and I just feel he's talking to me almost, because it's always so perfectly fits the situation that I'm going through. But yeah, I feel I'm just kind of close with all parts of the Trinity, but just in different ways.